And good evening, 11:54 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Wednesday, July 17th. Again, another video short. If I could give this a title, it would be called Going From Bad to Worse. It started off with some questions about Li-Meng Yan, and I'm not really sure that some of our initial leads about where she may or may not have been living actually have bared any fruit. But what I will say is this review of a presentation that she did in 2018, I think everything about Li-Meng Yan needs to be completely revisited after this. First of all, I mean, she is advocating for a universal flu vaccine. If we look at the paper that she was working on at that time in 2018, she's actually at the WHO Collaborating Center for Infectious Disease Epidemiology and Control, School of Public Health, University of Hong Kong. It's a little bit different than just saying I'm at the University of Hong Kong. It's reviewed by people in Australia, so it's got a Five Eyes color to it. Of course, it does talk about the horrors of vaccine hesitancy. If we look at funding, was supported in part by the NIAID Centers of Excellence for Influenza Research and Surveillance. This paper that put her into that situation where she was presenting with Kizzmekia-Corbett, which is true, I verified that, in 2018, was funded by Fauci. In fact, if you go to the references, the very first reference is Anthony Fauci. Unbelievable. Now, there's a whole list of additional references here, which, silly me, I didn't actually realize that there was another page there. I was actually like, really, 6 references? That seems kind of short. Osterhaus. Fauci. Of course, Fauci is on here. Oh, my goodness. How many other frauds are we going to get onto this list here? Oh, my goodness. There's like 70, 100. Wow. So we don't need to go through all of these names here, but you can see there's like 120-something references here. Yeah, it's with the Valkenburg lab. There's Erasmus-type connections in here. It's a mess. This is her 2018 project. Just a student, just trying to do some work in the lab, concerned about the coronavirus. I wanted to bring attention to the fact that the other presentation that Kizzmekia was presenting was actually about coronaviruses. So we know that on the November 9th date listed here, Li-Meng Yan is combined use of live attenuated and inactivated influenza vaccines to enhance a heterosubtypic protection. Now, the event is actually the event that Kizzmekia, or Kizzy, if you will, went to. And what Kizzy is presenting on is advancing towards a general solution for coronavirus vaccines. This is remarkable. So Li-Meng Yan is co-presenting a paper that was funded by Anthony Fauci, in part anyways, reviewed by people from Australia at a Hong Kong event in 2018 that also includes the presenter Kizzmekia-Corbett, who ran, the Moderna trials for Fauci, where Kizzy is presenting advancing towards a general solution for a coronavirus vaccine. Is there anything fishy about this? Yes. Well. Let's look at the attendance of the overall event. Who are the main presenters at the event? This event actually was called, in Hong Kong, the Keystone Symposium, framing the response to emerging virus infections. They're talking about what? Zika, SARS, MERS. Who else is presenting there? Ralph Baric, Peter Daszak, Michael Diamond, Heinz Feldman. Heinz Feldman, who's co-authored papers with Robert Malone. Heinz Feldman, who worked at the Rocky Mountain Laboratory. He's actually become the scientific director of Rocky Mountain Laboratory with his wife, Frederique Feldman. I mean, it's always good that when the United States trusts its most powerful, highly funded, dangerous laboratories to be run by people who are not American citizens. I love it. Such a great idea. By the way, Heinz Feldman just happens to be the boss of Emmy DeWitt, the first person to photograph the SARS-CoV-2 virus. So you have the people running the trial for the virus, for the Moderna thing there. You have Daszak, who's the guy who's getting blamed for causing the pandemic. You have Baric, whose last postdoc is working with Sina Bavari. Sina Bavari, of course, is a longtime peer of that Heinz Feldman. Heinz Feldman and Bavari and Hone and Malone are basically like the four horsemen of running the United States into the ground. Oh, my goodness. Ana Maria Henao Restrepo. I just mentioned that name the other day. You remember that name, Virginia Benassi? Ana Maria Henao Restrepo. Benassi is just a throw. This is it. Koopmans, of course, Erasmus, who ran the investigation. Leo Poon. Now, what happened here is you see the name Leo Poon. So I suspect that Leo Poon had to cancel, or he allowed his student, or a protege, if you will, Li-Meng Yan, to present for him. So I think Leo Poon allowed Li-Meng Yan to present for him at this event. Now, she might have gone anyways. I don't really know the details, but you have the video of her presenting there. So it's not up for debate whether or not she was there or not, because we have the video of her presenting there. Lin-Fa Wang of Duke. Scott Weaver, University of Texas Medical Branch, another person that's done a lot of work with Bavari and Feldman. And David Hone, I think, maybe, but I'm not so sure about that one. Can you believe this? Can you believe all the people that wasted time in Congress chewing up cycles talking about the lab leak and this amazing evidence that they had from this Li-Meng Yan, allowing people to die of the drug epidemic because they were going to chew up time with their talk of their deadly gain-of-function virus that came out of a lab due to the irresponsibility of Anthony Fauci and the smoking gun from Li-Meng Yan, whose paper was funded by Fauci? Most of these people, by the way, blocked me on Twitter. Not that I give a crap anymore. And I hold these people in part responsible for many, many, many deaths, including deaths in my own family. They are all awful people. And I have no interest in collaborating with anyone who continues to collaborate with these awful people who are all part of murder. It's just going to keep getting worse, everyone. It's just going to keep getting worse. Counts are going silent on Twitter. People are disappearing. They're lost. The lies aren't working anymore. The drama's done. God bless the United States of America.